Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Promo code to start the video. Raid together. I'm not sure what you get from that. 200 energy. I mean, hey, it's something, right? But in today's video, I want to talk about this Demon Coalition event. We're actually about to hit the 1.7 times multiplier, which is nice. But yeah, is this Coalition event, is it good? Is it bad? I think it's a pretty controversial one. I came into this event actually liking it quite a lot. I was personally quite impressed by it. However, then I saw the reaction online, particularly on Reddit, where people, from what I can see, almost exclusively hate this event with a passion and think it's terrible. So is it good? Is it bad? Is it a mix? Wow. Well, could we come up with some sort of nuanced take in this video? Perhaps we can. Let's see what we can do. So let's dive into it now. One of the so basically the structure of this event, right from the get-go, everything was here from day one. You had the 5 different stages you can do. I did a video giving my first attempt. As you can see, I haven't gone back to it, but maybe I will towards the end to help stuff out, because it's pretty slow progress on this bar. I could do more to help it along, so maybe I will do that, even though I've got enough points. With the 1.5 multiplier, 15,000. So when the 2 times multiplier is hit, I will have the 20,000. I've got enough points to be fine, but I could do more to help it along. And we'll talk about that. I think it is a bit of a weak point as well. But yeah, you could do everything day one in this event. And this is where I think you have to decide, or it's worth thinking about, and it's worth having a more advanced sort of feedback to give on this event, and to give potential solutions, what you do or do not enjoy about it. A lot of people saying, listen, you know, I played it day one and then I'm done, and that is really bad. We want more stuff in this event, being done quickly, and then it's there. Terrible design, what's going on? It sucks. I think we need to dive more in depth into that, because on the flip side, well, I could say to play devil's advocate against that point, even though I do agree with it broadly, but to play devil's advocate, what is one of the most common general bits of feedback about Raid Shadow Legends that basically everybody gives, right? Watch shot. Game takes too much time. Raid Shadow Legends is too time intensive. We need time saving stuff in game. It takes too long. So, again, I think we need a bit of nuance there. Either the game how can we have it that the game takes too long, but then we want this event to take more time? What's the logic there? You can have a logic there, but that's why I say you need to go a bit more in depth into it. Let's do it. See, I think there's awkwardness there. I think if we look at the previous Coalition events, one of the big bits of feedback was we've got like these daily quests during this event. They're super intensive to grind out to get the points that we need. It's fun because I see people giving the suggestion there should be daily quests in this event. But funny enough, if you think back to the previous Coalition event, one of the big bits of feedback was we've got all these daily quests on top of like the ongoing fusions, the ongoing events. It's too much to grind. This is stupid. Like, whatever, I've got to spend energy in Sand Devil when there's a dungeon tournament on for the fusion. It's too much. It's too much time. And now we're here. Those things don't exist, and people are saying we want them back. Do we want to spend more time? Do we not want to spend more time? What is the question? Okay, so let me actually answer the question, and let's go rant over it. Let's answer it a bit. So I do think you could. I think it's not unreasonable to say that this could take more time and there could be more substance to it, without saying we want more overall time in game. I think you could very reasonably say, well, actually, what if we reduced some of the general stuff in game? So for example, like, what if I think something they said they wouldn't do, what if they were just like autocomplete for Doom Tower? You know, if you've done it before, just bam, autocomplete, it's just instantly done, and cool, that's some time saved in game. You know, like, let's say, what if Iron Twins Fortress, instead of being spent 2 keys at once, what if I just spent all 6 in one go, or there was just 1 key per day and you got 6 times the reward instead of running 6 keys per day? You know, something like that. We could put in some time saving stuff to then free up some more time for events, and I think that could be kind of fun. But like the monotonous, repetitive daily grind, we could shrink that down and then have more of these events where, to be fair to it, it's a new boss. You know, it's a new take. Well, it's a new take on an old boss, but it is functionally sort of a new boss with different things going on. Having more time dedicated to something that is new and fresh, that is more fun than having lots of time dedicated to repetitive grind. I think that's totally fair. So I think that is a good bit of feedback we could give. What could we actually do in terms of this sort of event? What could be different in the future? I think a few different suggestions. There is that daily quest suggestion. I think that could work. It's an option. Sort of mixing the old coalition event with this new version. Be like, okay, you've got these different stages, get as many points as you can. If you can't get that many points, there's going to be some daily quests going as well. You can grind those daily quests to get the points if you really want the rewards. But on the other hand, hey, if you're getting loads of points from doing these stages, if you can build good teams and do well in this, you can maybe skip out. You don't actually need to do many, if any, of the daily quests. I think that could be certainly one possible solution. It gives everyone a chance to gather more rewards, but make it an option, a different path to getting those rewards. I think that could work and that could be done pretty well. I think something they could do here, which could be kind of interesting too, is, I mean, I guess stage 1 would stay the same, but even what they could even have stage 1, right? This is just no restrictions. They could have it with, let's say, some sort of bonus, like, ooh, I don't know, like your crits do, your magic affinity champions do 20% more damage on critical hits, or your poison debuffs do 25% more damage on stage 1. And then likewise, we have the restrictions or whatever as they are on these other stages. But then we say, okay, after week 1, stage 2B opens up. And I can, let's say there's a drop down here, I can flip between them. I can do stage 2A, which is this, or I could do stage 2B, which is now a different random selection of 4 factions. Ooh, and stage 2 will take my high score from either A or B, whichever is higher. So if I'm a player who comes in and might be in a situation where you say, oh, I've got a couple of good lizards, but I've got nothing else from these factions. I can't build a good team for stage 2. You go, well, that's stage 2A. Next week, stage 2B. Oh, maybe you can build a team with this random selection of factions. What about stage 2C, which maybe opens up in another couple of weeks or something? And maybe you could have 2 or 3 different random selections within these stages. Go, I couldn't do stage 2A. I had a good team for stage 2B, but when stage 2C opened up with a week left on the event, or whatever, 2 weeks left on the event, I can actually build a really good team for stage 2C, and that could be my submission for stage 2, and I can get some points that way. The advantage of doing this, and like I said, for stage 1 as well, you could have something similar. Like, let's say there's the no restrictions, but then, there's the poisons do more damage week. And then the next week, another stage 1C opens up, which is your magic champions do 20% more crit damage, whatever, right? You go, I had a good team for this, but I've got a better team for that. Or I can build for one of those conditions for some more points. Basically, a reason to check back every week, let's say, during this event. More options in terms of what you can do. And like, if you've already got the points, you've already got it done well, that's cool. If you want to give this new stage at new conditions because you want to build a team, then that's cool as well. And you can look for the high score that best suits you. So essentially, it's sort of the same structure as this, but giving more options, more variety. And I honestly think if they were to do that, I think 5 stages is probably too much. You could easily have 3 stages. You could have the basic stage with just benefits, and then you could have maybe 2 or 3 maybe stages with faction restrictions. I don't know. You could have 1 stage with no restrictions and just bonuses, 1 stage with just faction restrictions and maybe some bonuses as well, and then 1 stage with faction and affinity restrictions. And again, have a few every week, have a new version of it, and pick whichever version you want, and your highest score from that will be your thing for this day. That could be quite fun. A reason to check back every week. You might still be done on day 1, but it means that players that can't do the basic stages as they are. I mean, even though it's like a 4-week event, right? Realistically, if you go, I can't do anything good on stage 2, by the end of the event, there's a pretty good chance if you can't do anything at the start of the event, you probably still can't do much by the end of it. I'd say stage 2 is maybe an example of a stage where people might be underestimating, for example, like a Phoenix team, but that's a whole other question. But yeah, I think that could be kind of fun. It could be an interesting way to mix this up and to add in a bit of variety. Now, another very big bit of feedback that I could personally give would be this bar right here. I think this has been a problem for all of the coalition events, and this could be another way to deal with this as well. This bar, right, what is the gameplay implication, I think, of this bar? So you start at 0, it fills up, everyone gets bonus stuff, and there we go. But it has a hard stop, right? It stops at the sacred shard and that, and you go, yay, cool, we got the sacred shard, we're done. Like, you know, my contribution is 10,000. This is now over 1 billion. It will be over 2 billion. Like 10,000 is a tiny part of 2 billion. Like what I do or do not do really isn't particularly relevant to that. Like if my 10,000 didn't exist, it wouldn't even show up in this main number. It doesn't matter. Any given person is irrelevant. There's a general commentary on modern democratic politics, which is in general. Yeah, just general political commentary worldwide. But regardless, yeah, you're just not. This is not really something that you personally are participating in a meaningful way, right? It's just something that happens. Now, here's the thing. What if we only get to here on this bar, right? The 4 weeks end and we haven't completed the bar. What does the player experience? The player goes, there's nothing really that I could have done or didn't do. This just sucks. Do people not play the game enough? Like, why has Plarium said it? Surely Plarium knows how much people are playing. Why have we not completed this event? It sucks. Now, funny enough, for how many coalition events have there been? 2 or 3? Not including this one. 2 or 3 other ones. I think it might be 2 other ones. Now, in the second one, this bar was completed very easily. The first one was quite funny. The bar was really not filling up much at all. And then Plarium discovered a bug. And suddenly it was like, oh yeah, there was people were earning loads of points, but there was a bug and it didn't show up. Now, I'm a bit of a cynic, as you could probably tell. And I was like, it seems like a bullshit, but I don't know. It's hard to know, right? They say it's not. I don't normally approve of conspiracy theories, though. Did you hear that they've nerfed the clan boss or Demon Lord rewards? They've nerfed the shard? Can you believe it? Not usually a fan of conspiracy theories, but I definitely my conspiracy theory was tingling with that one of like, they overestimate. They thought people would grind really hard to complete this coalition event. People just played as normal. The coalition event wasn't going to be maxed out, so they had to add a bunch of points in to compensate so it would actually be maxed out. Because again, it looks really bad for the game and the health of the game if this bar doesn't get finished. So I'd be shocked if it doesn't get there. And I think maybe they might have invented some points in the past, perhaps to fill up the bar, because I just think it looks really bad if the bar doesn't fill up, because it's a set bar and the goal should be set. I mean, Plarium is setting the goal. They know how much people do, so clearly it should be an obtainable goal, right? What we could do differently and would be more interesting, what if this bar didn't have a fixed end? What if there was just loads of, like an infinite amount of rewards, and it's like Plarium says, we're just going to keep adding stuff and just go. And we're going to keep adding multipliers as well. Like it's just infinite, right? Just keep going. The community can earn as many rewards as they want. Now, at the same time, it might still be a thing where it's like, well, they clearly know how many points roughly the community are going to get, but it might be a bit more fun from a community perspective if this bar would keep increasing. Instead of being like for me, I got my 10k points. I'm like, well, I'm going to get a 2x multiplier. I just sit here and I'm going to get the full points and I'm done. If instead it was like, well, this is going to keep going up. Cool. If I do more points, I can perhaps get a bigger multiplier, which will mean that more players will get their rewards at the end. Oh, I can feel like, by doing my little part, even if it's basically irrelevant, I can still do a little bit, and it can, I'll do my part in helping out the general community and get some more rewards for me and for everyone. Okay, that's pretty cool. It means that even players who aren't able to, like, let's say you might be sitting here going, I can't get 10k points, even with the 2x, I can't get these rewards, I can't go anywhere. Frustrating. You'd be going, well, okay. Well, what if we hit the 3x multiplier? What if we hit a 4x multiplier? Like, oh, that's kind of exciting. That's cool. And certainly, again, if there were more stages cropping up over the course of the event, it'd be like, instead of kind of knowing from day one that I can't get these rewards, and at no point during this event will I be able to get these rewards. From day one, I've already failed to complete the event, essentially. You'd be going, oh, well, I could check back every week. And every week, progress is being made. And I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to be getting at the end, and let's see how far we're going to push this week. Oh, that's kind of exciting. I think that could make for again, a more engaging event that's not just done, as it were, on day one. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Now, one of the other bits of feedback on this one has been if I don't have particular champions, so in this case, it's like Senna. If I don't have Senna, I can't get a ridiculous score on any of the stages where Senna is. I mean, this is still a very good score. If he had Senna, it would obviously be much higher. Like if we look at the top players, you can see a huge difference. But here we are, Senna plus Androck hitting the damage cap, Senna plus Androck hitting damage cap, Senna plus Androck hitting damage cap, and so on. And that is true. It's just a general problem with the game. At least in this situation, it's, you know, Senna, Androck, and Toshiro. It's a little bit different from like regular Demon Lord, where it's just everything is a Titus team. At least it's a change of scenery from that. So I don't mind it that much. But yeah, the reality is I think there's certainly a general game balance problem in the game where there are best champions, and if you don't have those best champions, your performance is simply going to be far, far lower. I mean, here we go, Senna, Androck that's not hitting the damage cap. But let's see, when do we see a large drop off of where's the non-Senna player? Okay, I mean, these numbers are going down, so 500. It might be me. I don't know. Here's one non-Senna player, 300 million. Non-Senna 200. I've got 300 non-Senna, but I do have Androck. But yeah, you're seeing a drop from like 500 million from the weakest Senna team to like 300 million. It's a pretty massive drop, let's be honest. That's just within my clan. Yeah, I think that the game just generally has bad PvE balance. I think it's probably the worst that it's ever been in the game, to be honest. It's a topic for another video. I think, you know, again, I've talked about it ad nauseum. There's not much really new to say, but in Hydra, it's dominated by Titus and Trunda. And, yep, Demon Lord is pretty much dominated by Titus. This Tainted Demon Lord is basically the stage 1, which is where you get most of your points. Like, you can see the biggest chunk of my points is coming from this. Sorry, excuse me, I got 1,000 extra points from this, which is a huge amount, right? A lot of your points coming to stage 1, which is dominated by Senna and Androck, really. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just people don't want it. People don't want champions to be nerfed. So like whenever you have a really OP champion, they're just gonna dominate, and that's it. And is it bad? Yeah, I think so. I will say that some of it is slightly exaggerated. So, for example, people might be saying, I've got no way to do a good team, but you can have good teams with, you know, like over here, like you might say, oh, I don't have double Teox, like I'm just screwed. But then you've got, well, double Teox again. There's a team here somewhere with Phoenix, but like here, he only has the one Teox. He's put in a Phoenix. It's an epic champion. He's done huge damage. How much damage did he do compared to the next guy? He's definitely lower, but he still put in a decent chunk. So, I mean, I think there are some accessible champions for each of the different stages that can do some work, but yeah, the balance is a bit rough, and yeah, unless, you know, yeah, so I think that's a bit rough. But there you go. Putting it all together, my thoughts on the Demon Coalition event. For me, I actually like this one more than the previous Coalition events, because they were just grindy in that not a particularly interesting way. What I like about this one is there's some genuine new gameplay. There's a new boss. He's certainly a take on the old boss. He's very similar strategy-wise to the original Demon Lord, but it is a new boss with different strategies. And I personally enjoyed, because I'm an endgame player, I had teams that are capable of basically hitting the max score. I enjoy being able to build a good team and to do it. And it worked out well for me. Like I said, I was able to go in. I did a video on it. I had about an hour of fun building. Maybe it was 2 hours even of building teams, giving it a go. I got my points. I walked away. This is a very well-designed event for me personally. So I personally enjoyed it, but I do not represent every player. And I do think that there are some legit, very legit criticisms from the general player base. I think we've given some I've given some solutions in this video, and I'm excited to see what solutions you guys can give in the comments. So again, option number 1 is add in some daily quests so that players who are just effectively cannot participate in these stages can still earn points and get themselves some bonus rewards. Solution number 2, add in different options for stages that could potentially unlock over the course of the coalition event, so that there's new versions of the boss unlocking as the event goes on, which will open up more players to actually be able to build teams for these different stages. Option number 3, I think, again, with potential rotating stages during the course of the... And by the way, I didn't have them like fully rotating. I think that would be nice. Like, don't have stage 2, like these 4 factions, and then a week later delete this and put in new factions. I think open up more options is better. I think that's better, so that people can actually work on, like, whatever. If I'm working on a team for this, it's not going to disappear, right? That it's there for the thing. But I think that would be cool. I think option number 3, add in positive benefits here as well, so that, I don't know, let's say HP burn does way more damage. You're like, oh, cool. Well, I'll throw in a HP burn champ. Let's see what I can do. Maybe this bonus will help push my score up higher. That could be fun. Option number 4, add in like an infinite scaling community reward thing and just make it generous. Plarium, by the way, Plarium are very, very, very stingy generally with these events. They're really tight. Why not make this a generous event and just be like, you know what, YOLO, let's let the player base get some pretty juicy reward. Let them go crazy. We're not running these that often. Make it like a real event and, like, yeah, give some really generous infinite scaling of these and let loads of players get all these resources and screw it. Like, let's let them just go YOLO once. It's a community event. Let's make a community event special. Why not? It's like these rewards are quite good, really, for very little time. But yeah, I guess that brings me to point number 5. I think that this event taking relatively little time, for me, that is not a negative, even though I think a lot of feedback is giving it that's a negative. I disagree. It's the same thing I feel about Siege. People saying, oh, Siege, I do my couple of fights and I'm done very quickly, therefore event is bad. My response to that is, the fuck is wrong with you? It's great, right? It's an interesting community event. And yeah, it's great that it doesn't take me personally that much time, because it's cool. Like, I'm chatting with my clan. There's lots for me to unpack with this because it's a community event, but then, the gameplay time requirement is quite low. That's great. This game takes too much time. This sort of thing is good. So I don't want to see everything be a mega time consuming grind. I respect it, kind of respect it. I half respect it if you do. Again, for me personally, I think for many players, I don't know how many, but I think for a decent chunk, not what everyone would want. But there we are. And yeah, I think like the whole new boss in here was cool. I'd love to see the Tainted Demon Lord come back with more team options in the future. And perhaps bonuses. I'd love to see Tainted Hydra. I'd love to see lots of... I think there's tons that you could do with these sorts of events. And it could be pretty cool. So there you go. I'm like, yeah, I also think that the leaderboards are decent. Like, whatever. You have the problem. Oh, also, again, another problem. Fundamental game balance in the game kind of sucks. To be honest, just a small number of champions are just the best by such a large margin that nothing else can compete towards being the best. That's a genuine problem. It's a genuine problem. And yeah, but I enjoy the clan leaderboard. That's cool. And that I can actually see the info on the teams that people have put in. That's been pretty cool. And the top 100 players, that's kind of cool for this event. I think that's the big thing for me, is that I can see how many turns they did, their power, the gear sets. That's great. It's good info. We could have even more info. I could see the relics. I could see the actual stats on the champions. I could see the AI presets. There's lots that they could do to improve this even more. But I think that these leaderboards are a step in the right direction as well, and they're actually quite cool. I enjoy the leader. I've looked at the leaderboards for this event far more. Like, look at this leaderboard. Fucking useless. Great. Every second I spent looking at that was a waste of time. There's nothing useful for me in that leaderboard. It is a total waste. These leaderboards, there's nothing wrong with leaderboards per se, but it's having actual useful information in those leaderboards is far more interesting and important. And I think also, based off of that, I think something that could be cool would be to show like high score for different champions. They could do some real fun info at the end of this event. Be like, these were the top 10 damage dealers for stage 3. These were the best ones. Cool. Like this. And like number 1 was Varl, number 2 was Atharion, or whatever. Like seeing what Crocat destroyed. This was cool. These are the most common champions picked for this stage. These were the least picked. These were champions that were picked less than 1% of the time, but that scored a certain high score. There's tons of info that Plarium will have from this they could present to make this really fun. And that could be super cool. They could even present it during the event as well, like top scoring, not just players, but top scoring champions, top scoring builds, whatever. They could do some really cool stuff. So yeah, there you are. Feedback on the event. Loads of different ideas. I'm excited to read the comments as to what you guys have in there. But yeah, give me your thoughts on this. I think, again, my take on this is for me personally, I've really enjoyed this event overall. And I would love to see events very much like this in the future, but with some more improvements to make it more accessible to more players, because I certainly think that this event is fantastic for an end game player, but is fairly lackluster and just a bit feels bad for even a late game player, a mid game player, certainly an early game player. It can feel very lackluster. And I'd love to see all of that improved, because someone who's been playing the game for a month is just as much part of the community as someone who's been playing the game for 5-6 years, right? So let's go. That's it. That's all I've got. Curious to see your comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you all next time. Goodbye.